well, I ended up going to about 4 different colleges before I settled on Philadelphia College of Art for undergrad school. Started out in metalsmithing and then ended up switching to photography in my sophomore year. And then because I didn't know what to do, a friend who was out in Chicago suggested I could go to grad school. And so I applied to the Art Institute, which is the only school I applied to, and thankfully got in. Well, I opened up the gallery. I signed the lease in October of '87, and then the stock market crashed. So that was a really ominous start. And then in '91, '92, we had the first Gulf War, followed by what was the first significant recession that I was affected by. It was very, very difficult. So I had a 5-year plan, which got derailed a bit by the 3rd year. Well, I don't take on people thinking I'm going to make money. I think that's a mistake. And I take on work that I really love, and I have to love it in order to sell it. I have to make money. But I try to balance the artists in the gallery who sell with the artists who don't. And obviously I have to have enough people that keep the gallery going that takes care of 2/3 of the artists who probably don't sell more than a handful of pieces a year or maybe every other year. And if that's, but most artists want their work to be seen. And so I think hunger on a dealer's part is very important. If I didn't need to make money, I don't know that my artists would get that much attention. Well, representation, is an arrangement that has longevity, that has a dedication that goes beyond just an exhibition and or just having inventory in the gallery. It's a commitment that I take very seriously. So up until a few years ago, I would only show people if I represented them. More recently, I've come to the conclusion on the way in which the art world is changing so much in the last few years and the economy going up and down that I'm actually showing people with the understanding that they might only have one show. I might not take them on. I'm very clear with the artists when I work with them that it'll be an exhibition only and or it'll be a long-term commitment. I see work either through shows that I'm jurying, and my staff, I don't know, they do all this blog stuff, so we're always looking at all these different blogs. I don't care about a resume. I don't care how old somebody is. I don't care if you're a man or a woman. I don't care what your race is. I just care about the work. I'm not a big fan of the resume. I mean, I've sat on a lot of panel discussions, and I think there are people who think that, an MFA is incredibly necessary. And then there are people like me who know that I only went for my master's degree because I didn't know what else to do. And so I just bided time. And furthering your education generally means you've got more time to devote to yourself because, once you enter reality, nobody cares about your work like your teachers did. But that doesn't mean that the work's any better. So I find most people who go to grad school are just biding time. I actually have come to love art fairs. I used to find it a necessary evil, but I actually love them. I kind of thrive on the pressure, and it's kind of a sick, way of thriving because it's amazingly pressure-filled financially. But in the last 2 years, I'd say 80% of my profits come from art fairs. It's not up to me to call and say, do you have new work? An artist that needs a dealer to do that is not going to have a dealer. The artists have to be really proactive when you have a dealer and stay in touch and, send us, JPEGs of new work or keep your website up to date and let us know what's going on. I really respect artists who get involved in the business side of their work so long as they don't screw it up. But I have to say, I have some artists right now that are very active in keeping the momentum going, understanding that I'm just one dealer. But I think the more active an artist is in their own career, the better chance they have of being successful. But on that note, you also have to not make mistakes. You know, you don't go around quoting prices. You don't get involved in the minutia where you could make a mistake. I think the photo industry has done a much better job, if you will, of giving artists who work with the camera avenues that you don't have in the painting world. There are all these places where artists go with their portfolios. Curators and dealers come and meet with them, and we do these like 20-minute, you know, reviews. I mean, it's an incredible industry that the photo market's built. So if you're an artist working one-on-one with a collector or a buyer, and you offer them a payment plan, you do not give them your art until you've been paid in full. And I mean, that seems sort of obvious to those of us in business, but I've seen a lot of artists.
I never did it that way.
Pardon me?
I never did it that way.
Yeah, well, there you go, Paul.